beautiful beings, and welcome to my sacred space. My name is Raven, and thank you so much for being here. In this video, I will be showcasing the top 5 decks that blew my mind in 2021. And blew my mind how? I don't know, these are the decks that aren't typically within my aesthetics, or I perhaps decks that I said I wouldn't get, but eventually I got them. And I'm pleasantly surprised with how amazing they are. So these are kind of like decks that it's just, I don't know, mind blowing in the sense that I wasn't expecting them to be that awesome. So I'm gonna start off with, this is not gonna be in any particular order, it's the first one that I just grabbed. So I'm gonna start off with the Santa Muerte Tarot. This is a Los Scarabeo premium deck. I'm used to my Los Scarabeo decks that come in talk boxes, but this one has, obviously a different packaging. And I think this is, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Don't quote me on that. But I call this like Los Scarabeo's premium collection just because I feel like the packaging is well thought of. The cardstock is different. It is quite thicker. It is glossy still, but it feels premium. There's no other way to describe the cardstock for this deck. It's beautiful. It's just so lovely. I love touching the cards, and let's get to that later. I want to show you the guidebook. If you want to see the full flip through and all of that of this deck, of these decks, of all the decks that I will be featuring in this video, please have a look at my playlist. I have them there. So yeah, Los Scarabeo usually provides just a little white book, because they give you talk boxes, and they don't really have the luxury of space to add a thicker guidebook. But with this one, you get this booklet, and it's just so funky and cool, and the images are just, they're here, and they didn't skimp on color. That's one thing also. And I love how this has a theme. Like, the paper is, as you can see, the paper is the kind of like vintagey paper, and it's just beautiful all throughout. Like, you would have colored images here as well. And typical with Los Scarabeo decks, Los Scarabeo guidebooks, you would have different languages. Oh, they even have Japanese here. That's interesting. Is it Japanese or Chinese? But yeah, you can see, this is a worldly deck. You know what I mean? Like, a global deck. This is just awesome. Isn't that cool? Like, you have like a lot of information here, and the guidebook says, instead of like just providing the meanings or the usual meanings for each of the cards, they also have like an advice of the dead. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, the box is awesome. It is sturdy. I actually was attached to this deck for a little while, that I brought it with me everywhere. And even though it's quite big, the lid is just, it's secure. You can't really it won't just fall. So you actually need to put a little bit of pressure when you're removing it. So you can carry this anywhere if you don't mind carrying a bigger bag. So, and then let's have a look at the cardstock. You know what? We already talked about the cardstock earlier, but I just can't shut my mouth about this, because man, it really is just, whoa, I wasn't really expecting this. It's beautiful. I want to show you the backing first. Now, I have seen this backing several times, like a lot of times actually, like on YouTube and all of that, but I just thought, oh, okay, it looks cute. Okay, it has skulls. And for a time when I was in college, I was really addicted to skulls. Like, I would have like skull necklaces, and not really the scary ones, just a petite necklace, or a petite pendant with a silver skull, and it was cute. And I had a collection of something like that when I was in college, but that was like over a decade ago. So, to see these, I still have appreciation for them, but it wasn't really like, oh my god, it's a skull, I want to get it. But so yeah, so going back, kind of lost my trail of thoughts there, but going back to the backing's design, as you can see, like the red is just so prominent, right? It pops, really, it pops out. And what I do love about this, like the first time when I was doing the unboxing for this deck, when I held, the deck, the cards for the first time, my mind was immediately drawn to the Mayan, no, that's not a Mayan calendar, maybe an Aztec or an Olmec calendar in the back. I was, whoa. It was just like, it was, whoa. I was like at a loss for words at how intricate this design is. And I love the nod to, of course, the ancestry. And I just want to show you, this is a Mayan calendar. Okay, it looks different. This is, mostly, I don't know, maybe Aztec, like I said. But please let me know. So, yeah, it's just, whoa, really, to have it there is amazing. And now looking at the images, I'm just gonna flip them. Okay, why don't I just, okay, let's just do it like this. Okay, you can see, it is pristine. It's beautiful cardstock, and it's beautiful to shuffle. Let me just try to shuffle it for you. There is a lot of resistance in the cards, so I can't really shuffle them all together, but it shuffles well. And of course, if you shuffle it this way, it's amazing as well. And I try to not shuffle it, ferociously, because I try to be careful with the edges. But regardless of how you shuffle it, it's just truly amazing. This is just so cool. Now, let's go and see the fronts of the sides. Oh my god, one of my... Hey, Magnus, what's going on? Okay, sorry. Alright. So as you can see, this loosely follows the Rider-Waite-Smith system. You still have the idea, like, look at this guy, this skeleton guy is, this is the Seven of Cups. Yeah, the skeleton guy is, faced with different options, so this is how you would, the regular, or the RWS Seven of Cups is usually depicted as anyway. So, you can still understand the meanings of the cards, like, easily. Also, I just want to point out that if there's one gripe, or if there's one thing that I'm just like, not really in agreement with, in terms of this deck's design, is the numbers. Really, like, okay, so what is it? Is it 9? Is it, what? Is it 6? Is it 9? Right? I think it's just a little bit confusing. This is the 9 of Wands, by the way. So, that's the only thing, like, you can see. Because if it's a 9 or a 6, that's when it gets confusing, because you don't know which way is up. But yeah, but that's the only thing. Like, I don't even mind the half edge, half border here. I think it's cool. The images are gorgeous. I wasn't expecting it at first. Like, even the background, like, if you pay attention to the background, you would understand that, the artist really made an effort to make this, the cards. And his name is Fabio Listrani. He really, really painstakingly made an effort to make this deck like a full painting. Like, there's no boring, there's no plain, or nothing plain, or no blank background here whatsoever. I mean, look at that. Even her bag has a skull. And, the background itself of the Page of Pentacles, you can see the skulls there. It's not just plain yellow. You have, like, even, look at that. You still have it. And how clever is that? Those are rib cages. Isn't that just, it's so amazing. And every time I pull up this deck for a reading, I just get blown away. Like I said, these are my mind-blowing decks. I just get blown away with the intricacy of the design of the artwork and the time and effort that the artist, that fabulous Tony, must have put in this deck. Look at that. Will. And then you have the, a drawing of a hand here, which symbolizes palmistry. And look at, I don't know, it's just, you even have like banderitas in the back. And you can see the cup is floating. There's a sword there. It's just, whoa, The moon. You can see, I think this is the only human in this deck here because all of them are skeletons. I think this is the only one with flesh. I mean, yeah, like so many different. Oh, look at her outfit. Look at the Chichen Itza. Yes? Look at the Chichen Itza in the back. I mean, whoa, really? Beautiful, isn't it? Like, oh my gosh, this one has scratches. This is also maybe one of the decks that I would feel really sad if I have scratches and whatnot. And yeah, you saw how I reacted when I saw some scratches. I feel like these are, the decks that I will feature here tonight are kind of like my most precious decks, just because I feel the instant connection and the attraction, of course, the pull is there. Look at the star. Look at it. Oh my gosh, man, I'm just, whoa. Really. Anyway, I don't want to dwell too much on one deck because we have 4 more to go. So yeah, this is my first deck in this video. In my list of mind-blowing decks, this is the Santa Muerte Tarot by Fabio Listrani, a deck published by Lo Scarabeo. Okay. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay. Next on the list is the Daily Crystal Inspiration deck by Heather Askinosi. This is actually a Hay House deck. Recently just joined my collection. When you open your heart and trust yourself, the universe will always guide you in the right direction. Beautiful. Now, I guess I put off buying this deck. Like, I think the first time that I saw it, I was thinking, there's no way I'm gonna buy that deck. Like, never. Because, the backing, it is, it's pretty to me now. But, like, before, it just reminded me of, like, the type of flooring. The type of patio flooring or outdoor flooring, except this one is colorful. And I just thought, really, that's it? I wasn't really that keen when I saw the backing of this one, but now I think it's gorgeous. Isn't it funny how people's ideas and thoughts, people really do change, Do you agree with me on that? Like, I really feel like, yeah, if there's one thing that's constant in this world, it's always going to be change. So I just feel like I just wanted to point that out because, you can never say never, because I did say I was never going to buy this deck, but I did. And man, I'm telling you, I am just, you guessed it, blown away. This is actually my second my second crystal deck, because the first one is the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. And yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a fantastic deck. It's beautiful. But, here, in this video, I am featuring decks, like I said, that I wasn't really keen on at first, but, they surprised me very pleasantly. So here, okay, let's start. I just want to show you the guidebook. Not gonna dwell on it, but I just want to show you how very straightforward it is. And at the same time, I do appreciate that they didn't, just to save paper, they didn't actually like segregate it. Although it would be easier for us to, I guess, locate a card or a page if it's like one crystal per page. I don't know. Like I said, I don't mind it being this thin, because then, we would have more cards and it would be easy to transport. So yeah. So you have the kind of crystal and a message. an action message, an advice that you can use. And then here, what's interesting is you have core questions. So if you pull, let's say, let's get one. Okay. Okay, if you pull Carnelian, then it will have like questions for you to where is it? One second. You're just not left with an actual message. You're just it doesn't end with the meaning of the metaphysical meaning of the crystal itself. It doesn't end with like this action phrase here. It also gives you thought-provoking questions, and I think that's very clever for the artist or for the creator to have that here, because it's one way of learning more about ourselves, and I think it's just really smart. So for example, core questions: what sparks your creative side? Is there anything holding you back from letting your creativity run wild? What do you want to create? Right? So you would really sit down with these questions, most especially if you select these cards for your daily pulse, for something for you to reflect on for the whole day, right? And apart from that, you also have a crystal action which features an affirmation, which is whoa. I mean, really? It's so simple, but it is meaty. Do you know what I mean? So for example, for this one, crystal action, the affirmation is I am imaginative and create freely. And then you have like, what can you do today? Start one new creative project, or restart one you abandoned. Come on, come on. Isn't that Rhodonite? Forgiveness starts with me. So that's your affirmation. And then today, choose one person, yourself or another, and start moving toward forgiveness. So this deck doesn't just allow you to familiarize yourself with crystals, to learn more about them better, but also it makes you question yourself, in the sense that you're just not questioning yourself for the sake of it, but questioning yourself on things that you need to heal. And I think that's the idea of the questions there. Oh, it goes deeper. Anyway, the guidebook is superb. Cardstock, not really the thickest from Hay House, but I think this is so much better than the new ones that they have. This is a lot better than the what's the name of that deck? The Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reed. This one has, this one has, what do you call that? Lamination, I guess, just because it's glossy, which makes the card a little bit sturdier, or a little bit more. It has more resistance. But I wouldn't really recommend you bending it too much, because it might fold. Because yeah, that's just how the cardstock feels like. And the images, let me tell you, like, this is absolutely not an OT, not my style. Like, really? And I saw this before, I was like, seriously, that's it? That's what they have? Like, how can I get intuitive hits with a deck that's just so simple? It's just the crystal itself. Like, huh? Why? I mean, couldn't they add a little bit more decor or design? But then eventually, this appeals to me more, because it allows me to connect with the energies of the crystal itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no other clutter there. And I love how they used minimalist fonts just to give you focus on the actual crystal that they're, featuring on the card. Isn't it just smart? I know, I'm in, and before it was just really, I don't know, crazy to ignore this deck for the longest time, and now I'm just like, oh man, like whenever I do my readings, I try not to pull this one every single time, because I feel like I have been using it so many times already. But you know what, hey, if it works, it works, right? And I feel like my connection with this deck is quite spot on. That's just so amazing. And yeah, one more thing that you can do with this deck, like for example, I don't have an iolite, I don't have a shungite, I don't have fluorite. No, I've always wanted a blue lace agate. I haven't really bought one, but I will soon. It's on my list. But like for example, if I want to meditate and I need, or I would I would like a blue lace agate to go with me during that meditation. I want to hold it during that meditation. And since I don't have that crystal, I can use this. I can just put it on my altar, or I can even hold it and just envision the energies of the blue lace agate, an actual blue lace agate. And, it will work. You know how when people, there's a research done of, people who envision themselves being by the beach, and they kind of like their brain's responses, or the pulses in their brain is actually quite similar. Actually, no, it was similar. It's exactly the same as with a person who's actually on the beach. And that just goes to show how powerful our brain is. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything is frequency, everything is energy. What you think, you become. What you think, you bring into being. So I feel like, yes, we should, focus. Yes, Magnus? Should focus more on the power of our brain. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you haven't heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza, oop, somebody wants to join the video. If you haven't heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza, I would recommend that you, I don't know, maybe watch Gaia, or maybe Google him, or yeah, just check him out, because he's an amazing guy. Anyway, going back to, he does meditation videos, and he has several different books about how we humans can actually heal ourselves. Like, I forgot the title. Rewiring your brain and breaking the habit of being you, and the placebo. I forgot the title of that placebo book, but that basically tells us, like, different research about people given sugar pills, and they would immediately feel better even if they just took sugar pills, and just because they thought that that's the actual medicine. Anyway, I'm going away from the topic, but I just wanted to insert that there. Anyway, so this is the Heather Askinosi Daily Crystal Inspiration Deck, and you have a lot of cards to go with the deck. So you have 52 cards as well. So yes, one of the mind-blowing decks, one of the decks that I wasn't expecting would, really impress me so much, and it did. So amazing. Next up is the Sufi Wisdom Oracle. This is by Rasuli. This is a Blue Angel deck, and similar to the Santa Muerte, I've seen this a lot. Like, the backing is stunning. It is gorgeous. The intricacy of the design and the color is just absolutely gorgeous. And for some reason, I don't know, it reminds me of Uzbekistan. I haven't been. I haven't been to Uzbekistan, but I would love to one day. And the reason why this reminds me of Uzbekistan is because, I think they produce, turquoise dye or something, and most of the things that most of their buildings would have the same color. I think, if is it Uzbekistan, or please let me know if I'm if it's a wrong country, but I know it is Uzbekistan. One of the stands. Not, I'm sure it's not Turkmenistan. I'm sure it's not Kazakhstan. It's not Tajikistan. I guess it's yeah, not Tajikistan. I think it's Uzbekistan. Anyway, let's move forward. So this is the Sufi Wisdom Oracle by Rasuli, and if you have seen the name Rumi in the past, like if you've been, or Hafiz, if you've been following a lot of spiritual accounts on Instagram and all of that, and you've seen memes, most of these names would probably be familiar to you, just because Sufis, they're very good with their words and their ideas, like their philosophies. They're able to translate their philosophies into beautifully, masterfully written words. And these advices, these thoughts, these ideas actually stand the test of time, and that's the reason why we're still hearing about them today. And so so the guidebook is substantial. Took me a while. And I love how this one really kind of like goes deep, a real introduction about what Sufism is, because it's not, yeah, I've seen the name Rumi, but not really that familiar as to what the idea of Sufism is. See, I can't even pronounce it. But yeah, so here, to be a Sufi is to detach from fixed ideas and from preconceptions. Be generous with what you hold in hand and don't try to avoid what is your lot. This is by Abu Sayyid. And then here, they just go on to describe the difference of Sufi philosophy or ideas from the Islamic canon. Do you know what I mean? Like, and also from Taoism and how it differs from other different philosophies, like from the Eastern and the Western philosophy. So I think it's just a real good introduction. And then here it says that, the Sufi wisdom oracle cards are spiritual tools intended to help you on your journey through life. They invite you to trust your intuition, have more satisfying relationships, and overcome challenges that make you feel frustrated and hopeless. And yes, man, it truly does. So, the guidebook is amazing. And you would have here like several pages dedicated to, the mystics. So they really go into detail about each and every one of them, like the year they were born and where they were born and all of that. And I think it's a good nod, to kind of like honor these amazing people, poets. You know what I mean? Like, and then you would have the pages for the card meanings, and it doesn't just have the card meaning, blah, that's it. No, you would have like the title of the card, a key phrase. So this can be an action phrase, an action sentence, something for you to do. And then you have a poem here from one of the Sufis that connect to the idea that was presented in the card. And then a lot of information that would really allow you to delve a little bit deeper into your life, like questions that you need to know, like, or experiences that they have and advices that they would have, for each and every, that's applicable for each and every situation. And then here, it depends. Like some cards would have a lot more information, others, a little bit shorter, but the gist is there. So you would have a sample of the image here. Yes, it's not colored, but that's fine. And then here, take a chance to express your ideas and inspiration for making changes and achieving your desires. If you feel something within you is stopping you from achieving your joyful dreams, it is time for you to let go of that feeling and accept the current energies that are flowing through you in the fullness of love. So everything just really, it goes for full circle. It goes back to love. And I think, what? Really, the Beatles said it. All you need is love. And then at the end, you also have a mantra. And I think that's just... this guidebook is chef's kisses. Now, let's talk about the cards. Really, I haven't even started on the cards and I'm already gushing. So, first off, it's not really the same color, but it's so pretty. I love the backing. Like, I can stare at this backing for days. I feel like, I don't know, it just really encapsulates the idea of, I don't know, like this Middle Eastern philosophy. Just because I feel like it has the, I don't know what you call that in architecture, but kind of like how the mosques are kind of like, although this is not really, Islamic in nature. But of course, just to tie it in with, the places where Sufism is born. So I think that's really cool. And then, when you flip it on the other side, you would have the gorgeous images. And can I just say how beautiful they are? Like, I am just, yes, blown away. I love that this deck doesn't have borders because, the whole card has the image. And I love as well the cardstock. Blue Angel, you guys are like awesome. The cardstock that they use is divine. Yes, I am unable to shuffle them because I have small hands, and it's it is a challenge for me. Oopsies! Oh god, this is my forever card. It's my stalker card. So it is a challenge for me to shuffle it this way because, like I said, I have small hands, but I make, you know, I make it work. So yeah, beautiful, isn't it? Like I said, this is not my style. Really, a how to say it, an abstract deck. Really, really, I will never never. And yeah, but here I am gushing and talking and featuring this deck right now in this video, which just, I don't know, just goes to show that when you get that call, that pull from your gut, don't ignore it, because you will be surprised. Sometimes our intuition is kind of like our spirit directing us to things, places, people, things that will, really enrich us or help us learn. Just you get what I'm trying to say. It's just hard for me to kind of like set it in words. But yeah, I feel like our gut feelings are kind of like ideas that our brain hasn't really comprehended yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyway, so look at that. I mean, what? Yeah, like this card, I pulled this for a friend without reading the guidebook, and I was just using, like the guidebook says, use your intuition, trust your intuition, and I did, and I trusted my intuition, and I gave him my thoughts about this card, and in relation to what he's doing right now. So I was kind of like giving him an advice, and I said, why don't we have a look at what is on the guidebook? And man, it was pretty spot on. Kind of like gave me goosebumps how it was really connected. And I would have never, I guess, I thought initially I wouldn't have thought of that if I would really, I really wouldn't imagine that what I would say would really connect. Because how can I think of that? How can I, when these are just abstract images? And I think that's just really, more than anything else, it tells me to really trust my intuition. Look at that. So these cards, like, they're all swirls, they're all just this mixture of colors, but they're so gosh darn magnetic. I just love these cards, these artworks. I get lost in them. Beautiful. So there you go. Gosh, I wasn't expecting that I would be talking too much per card, but hey, it's happening. So this is the Sufi Wisdom Oracle by Rasuli, a deck published by Blue Angel. It is beautiful. Please get it for yourself if you have been on the fence, thinking if you should buy this or not. Go ahead and buy it. It's beautiful. This one is the Starchild Tarot. Man, I tell you, like, for some reason, like the video that I created, which kind of like it's a comparison video between this one and the Moonchild deck. I don't know, for some reason I think I deleted it by accident, so I think I'm gonna do another one sometime mid next year, I guess, with more information, because by that time I would have used both decks extensively. So I guess, yeah, I'll just perhaps reshoot it. But I mean, if you've seen my unboxing for this deck, you would understand how in awe I was of this deck. Just want to say, first off, this is a beautiful packaging by Danielle Noel. You can see, just from the flash of my ring light there, if like switch angles, you would see that the gold part just really lights up the deck, and it's beautiful. I love the colors that they used. I love the feel of this deck. It's just absolutely beautiful. Like, oh, it feels good. I love touching it. And then I don't know, it has that it's addictive. And then we open her up, and you have like, we are all stardust, and aren't we all really just stardust? I think it's a simple line, and it's very thought provoking. Because our bones, like the calcium in our bones, are molecules, they found like components of, like, I'm being scientific here, but research says, studies shown that we are composed of matter from eons ago, like even before the Big Bang Theory. So, yes, we are definitely stardust, made out of stardust. And then here you have the Akashic part, which, I will explain later the importance of that, pertinence of the Akashic part. Now, the guidebook actually came in separately. I mean, not part of the box, because this is obviously bigger, but it has a lot of information that you would need if you're starting with tarot. You wouldn't have to get another tarot book. Plus, I think, I guess this deck would be, fitted for advanced readers, but of course, beginners can, of course, go grab this one and, use it to start with your tarot reading journey. I think this is just beautiful. Danielle Noel did a fantastic job with the guidebook, and at the same time the cards, because she's both the writer and the creator of the artwork. So yeah, when I okay, just a little bit of side note, like, I have gone through Danielle Noel's website multiple times, like a multitude of times, just because I wanted to admire the decks that she has, her creations. But at the same time, I know at some point I am going to be getting one of her decks, right? And I had a look at this one. I've seen images, I've seen several reviews and flip throughs, not checking everything. I would fast forward just to see some of the decks or some of the cards, and I thought, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna get the Starchild Tarot, just because I feel like it's pippish, and I'm not really a fan. I'm not really keen on pip decks, so I was like, you know what? I'll probably get the Moonchild Tarot instead, because that one offers a little bit more images, and I feel like the colors, it's not really just one color, because this one it sticks to one theme. I thought that the Moonchild deck would, really fit my personality more. Like, it's a little bit more colorful. I love how that one is like, so your subconscious, with the moon theme and all that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I thought that, because like I said, I'm just gonna buy one. So I thought, okay, well, I wanted to buy the Moonchild deck like next month. But when I saw her website, I purchased this one without thinking. And it was just crazy, because I feel like the reason why I purchased this deck, back then I was thinking, because I think it's a pretty deck, and I feel like once I buy the Moonchild deck, then I'm not going to check out her website anymore, and I wouldn't feel the tug to get this deck. And I know it's counterintuitive. Like, I already said I'm gonna buy the Moonchild deck, but I bought the Starchild instead, and I was like, why? I don't understand it. But during the unboxing of this one, and it was just so silly of me that I didn't even realize it is the Akashic version. Like, so when I was going through the guidebook, I saw Akashic, and I was just like, oh my god, there's the connection, there's the pertinence, there's the importance of me getting this deck. I understand now why. And I think, more than anything else, it's Angel Metatron. And like I said, I have been working with Angel Metatron. I've been calling on him for like over a year now, just to seek his guidance, his presence and all of that. And man, okay, well, this is Metatron's cube, and I was like, oh gosh, now I know why. So yes, there's an affinity with me and this deck, and I just feel so connected with it. Like, the moment that I started using it, I was just, you guessed it, blown away. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use that in each of like the cards because I don't really have a script. I didn't even think about this. I didn't think this through. I just started grabbing the decks, and I'm talking about um, decks that are mind blowing. So let's see if I'm able to extend that or to, you know, use that line in the other videos. But yeah, man, like I haven't even gone through the cards yet. I'm still, on my storytelling part. But yeah, look at the spreads. Well, it offers a lot of spreads. So you have the Starseed spread, you have the Akashic spread, and you have the Metatron spread. I was like, oh yes, of course, Angel Metatrons. Anyway, just wanna not brief you through, but I just wanna go through the guidebook really quickly, just so you have an idea how it looks like. And if you're interested to see the full flip through, not of the guidebook but of the cards, then you can have a look at my playlist for All About Decks. I think that's where everything is, all reviews and whatnot. So look, so each suit has been explained, very detailed. You have the astrological associations as well as the elements. And then, you even have chakras, gemstones, even that. Gosh, this deck offers a wealth of information. I'm sorry, the guidebook, like a plethora of symbolisms and all of that. And you have them under the additional keys. So wonderful, wonderful guidebook. I don't mind that it's not colored. I think it's just fine because you have like the message of the card, additional meanings, and if reversed. So very wonderful guidebook over here. So I'm gonna put that right here while we go through the cards. Come on, guys. I'm sure you've seen this deck. It is just. It's just, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. Just whenever I touch this deck, I just feel like this intense energy that flows through me. And sometimes I get goosebumps. But when I try to connect with this deck, like I really, like now I'm closing my eyes and I'm already seeing like burst of colors. And it's mostly purple, which symbolizes, the crown chakra and your intuition. And it's just, whoa. Whoa. So yeah. I guess the connection that I have with this deck is just on a different level. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, cardstock first. Cardstock, divine. it's like one of the best cardstocks ever. I love that it's smooth, but it's matte, and it's not really that rose petal kind. I just want to put that out there because I got the Star Secret Tarot, and this one has the rose petal finish, so it feels different. It feels amazing, by the way, but this one's a little bit more familiar, and that's because I think a month went by, and I didn't touch another deck. Or maybe I did, but just briefly, because I used this like extensively for a month. Because it's perfect. I feel like this is a connection of my body. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like, yeah, that's how I feel. Like that's how I love this deck, and this is my soul deck. Something that's I wasn't expecting, and turns out to be a connection of my being. I know it's strange to talk about like a deck like that, but man, this is insane. The energy is insane. Now I just want to talk to you about how the deck looks like. So you have this beautiful matte gilding. It's gold, but it's not the shiny gold that chips off easily. This one is just gorgeous. Backing is stunning, and the cards, I initially thought I wouldn't like them, but man, like I said, I don't choose the cards. This card chose me. These decks, they chose me. I didn't choose them. And that's just really fantastic if you think about it. I just really find myself lost in the images of, this deck. And look at that. It's pippish. But really, I don't mind. And their eyes, they're all so expressive. The faces, it's just it gets me, and I get it, and it's very pippish. I would never, but here I am, and look at that, beautiful, beautiful cards. Everything is just so perfect to me, and plus this card. Yeah, gosh, I love this deck so much. I was so sad. Like, I even remember that this is it. I actually, my Celestite over there was kind of like, oh no, not the Celestite. The blue, yeah, it's the Celestite, is it? Gosh, I forgot the name of that crystal. This one. It's chipping off. And of course, this is like, the material is hard, right? Gosh, what kind of crystal is this? I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm just having a blackout right now in the brain. But so yeah, I was using that while meditating, and then I set it aside, and apparently a part of it chipped off, and I used this deck, and look at that. The Nine of Crystals, the Nine of Pentacles, has a slash, and I was so bummed. I was so sad. Like, and I still remember that, that scratch, and that's the reason why, sometimes I just use my furry background fabric here to protect the cards, but you can't really protect them so much. You know what I mean? Like, they will get dings, they will get scratches, and at the end of the day, I feel like they add stories, just like the one that I told you, right? So they add stories and character and personality to your cards, to your decks. So it's just gorgeous. It's just absolutely beautiful. And yeah, the connection is just so spot on. I'm an indigo child as well, so there you go. Maybe that's the reason why I'm just so drawn to this deck. I don't mind the changes at first as well. I was thinking, you know what, I'm not gonna connect with how, they change the title of the cards, but I don't mind them at all. Beautiful. It's just stunning. So yes, that's my relationship with the Starchild Tarot. That's how much I love it. This is my soul deck. It is. It's just, it takes me places. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as the transference of energy from this card to me and me to this card is just seamless. So I love using this deck. I get completely accurate readings, and I would say a little bit deeper than the usual. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, that's really how I feel about the Starchild Tarot. So yeah, Daniel Noel, this is a gift to all of tarot readers out there. Beautiful. All right. Now, before we go on to the last deck, the fifth deck, I'm going to insert a special mention. This is the Soul's Journey Lessons cards. Let me repeat that. This is the Soul's Journey Lesson cards by James Van Praagh. Beautiful. Now, this deck, like I said, is one of the decks that I was just like thinking, I'm not gonna like it. I don't like the backing. I don't like the images. No, I'm not gonna get it. But man, I did. I did. And this is, another deck that chose me. So I like this one because it's so straightforward. Let me just give you a quick look of the guidebook. So how to use the deck, and what are mandalas, how to consecrate. So the usual information you would get in a guidebook, right? But here you would have the title of the card, the same message that you would get on the actual card, and a message. It's like, right now your soul is learning acceptance. This may force you to feel out of control in a situation or with another person in your life. So basically just kind of like giving you an advice, or it's like James Van Prague is actually talking to you through this guidebook. You know, maybe it is a person or situation that you do not agree with right now. So it's very conversational, but at the same time, you get it. It's very easy to understand. You get the gist of why you got that card. And it's, you know, it's easy for you to relate to it. You know what I mean? It's so easy to relate to. And so, yeah, these are the cards. And I have actually edged mine in this, you know, magenta, marsala colored Sharpie, and I think it matches the backing. I'm not really a fan of the backing, and I still stand, you know, with the idea. I still think they're kind of like cheesy. I don't know, or I don't know. It reminds me of mitochondria or something, but that's not what matters. What matters is the energy that this card. Well, I keep on saying this card. These decks have. And the energy of this deck as well is something that's very potent, you know, like every reading that I use every reading that I do using this deck is very, how do I say that? It's very concise, connected, cohesive. It's just spot on. You know what I mean? Like, the messages that I would get from tarot, the advice that I would get from tarot, and all of that, and if I pull one from this deck, it's so connected. This is, whoa, you know, and plus the images are just so simple, but they're, you know, they appeal to me. I like mandalas, you know. It's just there. It's peace. I'm a being of love and I release all negative energy. And you would have an affirmation. And I would usually tell like my clients, hey, read that 3 times and write it down, or say it like when you wake up in the morning, you know, in the middle of the day, and at night just say it until you believe it. And so, yeah, I don't wanna linger too much on this special mention, but of course I just felt the need to include this. This is the Soul's Journey Lesson cards by James Van Prague. Beautiful deck, and it's inexpensive. Now, lastly, and gosh, really, I can't stop thinking about this deck. It has been a week, and man, I'm just so in love with Tarot de Carlotydes. This is a Fournier deck by, what's her name? Carlota Santos. So this is a Spanish deck, and it comes in a talk box, which, you know, it doesn't really bother me, but man, this talk box is like premium talk box. I'm getting sleepy, but I'm still pushing forward to, you know, continue this video for you guys. Yeah, like I said, premium talk box. Look at the detail, you know, the the effort that, of course, they exerted in the creation of this box. Like, they really thought about it. You know what I mean? Like, it goes through inside, and it's just beautiful. It's dainty, but it's black, so it's, I don't know. Like, this is nowhere near my art style. Just wanna say that before we have a look at the cards. It's really just absolutely far from my style. But man, like, I can't stop thinking about it. Even though it's just here in front of me, I would find myself just walking towards my altar space, like this area, and just reading and just pulling and shuffling, and it's just strange. Why? Because the last time I had that connection with a deck was with the Starchild Tarot, and with the Tarot de Carlotydes, I'm experiencing the same thing, and I'm just really blown away and so in love with, you know, this deck. It's just absolutely stunning, gorgeous. It's perfect. I love it. Sounds like an obsessive person, right? But yeah, maybe I am. But so this came in with this guidebook. So not similar to the Los Scarabeo guidebook. This one has a little bit more meat to it, I guess. But it also offers different languages. So you have English, French, Portuguese, yeah, Deutsch, yeah. A lot of information in this guidebook, even though it's just so freaking tiny. See, all the minor arcana cards are laid out just very simple, but you would have everything. Like if you get the Eight of Swords in a normal position, it means crisis, calamity, imprisonment, criticism, sickness, and calming. And then if reversed, you get treachery in the past, difficulty, depressed state of mind, disquiet, fatality. So they're straightforward with the keywords. But the major arcana cards would have more descriptions. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't really recommend, if you're a beginner, I really wouldn't recommend getting just a deck that's in a talk box, because it won't offer a lot of space for a thicker guidebook that would have more information. Maybe get a Llewellyn deck, or a Llewellyn deck, I guess, because those come with like huge guidebooks. But so yeah, I forgot what was the idea of that. Yeah, so I mean, beginners, of course, you're still, it's still, there's no rule as to what deck you can purchase if you're a beginner or not. But I'm just saying, like, maybe it would be easier for you to learn more if you get like a deck that has a thicker guidebook that which offers a lot more information, as opposed to just keywords like in the talk box. Anyway, I'm forgetting the idea. I'm getting sleepy, so I'm trying to wake myself up a little bit. So okay, so look at the backing. Gosh, it's reversible. First and foremost, it's beautiful. It's not my style. Like I said, I'm not really a flowery person, but man, like, this is so appealing to me. I don't understand this. Like, I'm quite confused now with my art style, because it has expanded so massively over the course of 1 year, and I'm just so blown away with everything. But I am happy. I am happy that I'm experiencing different art styles, different designs, different colors, different, drawings, different, whatever. Everything is just different, and I am just accepting and soaking everything in, because I feel like it is enriching me, not just my in my tarot practice, but me as a human, me as a person as well. So here, that's the welcome or the title card, and then here about Carlota Santos and the publisher. I am in love with Los Carabeo cardstock, and I don't know, like, this just completely reminds me of my low carb. I can't talk anymore. I apologize. What's wrong with me? I'm just so sleepy now, but I want to continue because this is the last deck and my favorite as of the moment. So yeah, I do love my Los Carabeo cardstock and decks, and this one really reminds me of that. It's not as plasticky as the Los Carabeo decks, because those are kind of like more glossy. This one, it diffuses the light a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it had, Los Carabeo cardstock has like the ring light would, not super glossy, not high gloss, but this one diffuses it a little bit more. So this one has a little bit more matte to it, although not really entirely matte. But I'm not sure if you can see, but the cardstock it's different. It's I feel, is there like a laminate? I guess it has a lamination, but I'm not sure. Now, oh, look at the Three of Swords, man. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at it. It's just, whoa. I love that it's off-center. I love the rawness and the quality of the artwork, of the design. It's just so, how it's like someone drew this on my notebook. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is something it feels so personal. Yeah, and the handwritten, that's in Spanish, this is in English. The handwritten title of the cards also have that, it has that effect as well. That, this is a deck that's made for me. I mean, that's what it makes me feel like. I feel like it's so personal. I feel like this deck is just, it's too gorgeous. Everything, it's too interesting. It's not too, I'm not using too, but I'm not implying that it's too much. You know what I mean? Like, so, let me just replace too with so. It is so gorgeous. It is so beautiful. It is, It is perfect for my hands. Can I just say that first and foremost? Well, it's not really first and foremost because we've gone through a lot, but this deck is just stunning. You know what I mean? Like the size is it. I feel like this is the most perfect deck for me right now. Even though the artwork is, like I said, this is foreign to me. The hand drawn, imperfect style. This is something that I wouldn't really get in the past. Like this is something that's look at that. I mean, it looks what do you call those? Cryptid, right? Like a creature. It's not. Like it has boobies, and it's so strange. But you know what? I am here for it. I love it. Look at the death card. Look at the tower card. I love that it also I haven't been to Spain, but I would love to go there like soon. And I just noticed that it shows the countryside. Look at the cat. It shows the countryside, and I feel like some of the images here would remind me of like Don Quixote. I think that's a Spanish game where they would wear like stilts. Beautiful, isn't it? It's just there's a lot. There's so many things going on, but not too much to the point that you get dizzy by looking at the image. Like you would have like little tiny nudges, and I just love it. Gosh, I'm so in love with this deck. And actually, you know what? This is the reason why I started this video. I just went to bed and I thought, I can't stop thinking about my Tarot de Carlotydes and how much I appreciate this deck, how much I love it, how oh my god, look at that. She's on top of a crescent moon, but there are faces down there. See, things like that. How this deck really grabs me. This deck is so magnetic to me, and I don't even understand it because, like I said, this is not my style. But for me to be here right now and to start a video about my top 5 mind-blowing decks, just because I just feel so much appreciation and love for, this deck. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. This reminds me of the Princess and the Pea. It's just beautiful. Let me know if you have this deck, if this has the same effect with you, because with me, I'm just so in love with it. I'm so smitten with it. That's the exact look at that's just so beautiful. So yeah, smitten is like the perfect word that I would use for myself right now with this deck. Gosh, wow. Okay, so you know what, yeah, I have been using this for less than a week and I'm already in love. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that I will have a lot more connection with Tarot de Carlotydes like moving forward, and I just wanted to showcase this in this video because I just feel like it deserves. I'm not sure if a lot of people are already using this deck, if a lot of people grab this deck for their collection, but I feel like it deserves more attention. This is a gorgeous deck to be ignored. You know what I mean? Like I feel like this is like sometimes we get too fixated on gimmicks of new decks, right? And I actually got the Phantom Tarot. I have it here, and they arrived almost at the same time, this one and the Phantom Tarot. And I was thinking, oh gosh, like when I get the Phantom, Phantom, I'm gonna be like so excited to use that one that I won't have time to read with Tarot de Carlotydes. But it's different. It's switched. I am using this so much more than the Phantom Tarot, and I might end up rehoming that deck. I mean, I haven't. It hasn't been here for over a week, but I don't know. Maybe this deck is just really, overshadowing. But I'm gonna give the Phantom Tarot, like, of course, a little bit more time to connect with me. But yeah, right now I just want to say that this is a deck that I will never rehome. This is like my another soul deck, I would say, and I'm so keen and eager to learn more about the different images that the artist or Carlota Santos used, the characters that she depicted on the cards. I would love to learn more about them. Like, I hope she comes up with a book, or at least, like, I don't know, like an explanation on her website or whatever that shows or explains why she used these characters. This is such an intriguing deck. I don't know, I'm just so blown away by the beauty of this deck. So yes, that's it. That is the last deck that I have on my list. My top 5 mind-blowing tarot decks. My favorites, let's say. Not just tarot, also oracle decks. So yeah, but I guess, yeah. Alright. That's it. I'm gonna put everything here just so you can see everything. And voila. That is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and for checking out these decks. And let me know what you think. If you also have these decks, which one is your favorite? Like, which one connects to you the most? I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you again for, I think I talked too much in this video. But I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please let me know in the comments section below. I love engaging with all of you guys. Please consider giving this video a like, or subscribe to my channel for future videos like this. Thank you again, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye!